What up, what up, what up? This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Happy belated Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope everybody had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Thanksgiving. What a great day. What a great day yesterday was. I know I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I watched some, ate some food, and watched some football. Let me tell you, the Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears football game was probably the most boring game I think I've ever experienced on Thanksgiving. However, the next game we are definitely going to get into because it features our beloved, hated rival, the Dallas Cowboys. And actually, let's go ahead and get into that right now. What a great game by the Raiders. What a great game by the Las Vegas Raiders. Obviously, Deshaun Jackson, former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver, helped us on Thanksgiving Day once again by having a great day against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving in Dallas. Give me 1 second here. Got to plug in my laptop. I think it was along the lines of, I think Deshaun Jackson had somewhere along the lines of 4 catches for over 100 yards and a touchdown. This is my light that just fell off the shindig. Turn this off. We're just going to turn this off. See if I can find there we go. No, Deshaun Jackson had a beautiful day. Somewhere along the lines of 4 catches for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Got the first score of the game for the between both teams for the Las Vegas Raiders. So what a great game. So happy that the Las Vegas Raiders beat the Dallas Cowboys. It's absolutely crazy to me that with the Dallas Cowboys losing this game, Dallas Cowboys losing last week, it seems like they're in disarray, guys. We've kind of been saying this all along. It seems like they're in disarray, and what can go wrong will go wrong for the Dallas Cowboys, and obviously we're seeing that right now. And me personally, it's a Dallas Cowboys effect. They always have this happen, and then it's also the effect of Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy. I don't think he's never really been a great, second half of the season type of head coach, and he's kind of having that effect on the Dallas Cowboys right now. So it's crazy to me that with that loss, that Dallas Cowboys loss yesterday, with the Dallas Cowboys loss last week, the Dallas Cowboys are now 7-3, I believe, 7-3, and or maybe it's 7-4. Let me double check that. I think they're 7-4, which means that they're only 2 games ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles. They're only 2 games ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And the Eagles play the Giants and the Eagles play the Jets over these next 2 weeks. And then we get the Washington football team. Or then we have our bye week. Then I believe we have the Washington football team and then the Giants again and the Washington football team again. And then the Dallas Cowboys in week 18. So it could come down to the wire. The Eagles still have an outside shot at winning this division. If they keep playing the way that they're playing, if they keep doing the things that they're doing, like dominating on the ground, this offensive line going out and kicking some people's asses, Jalen Hurts getting better week by week, making things work, doing everything that he can to get a third down conversion, get a first down, or score in the end zone. This thing could come down to the wire. AJ Styles, my man. Long time no see. Happy Friday. I hope you had a beautiful Thanksgiving, my friend. Happy belated Thanksgiving. I know I did. I had a pretty good Thanksgiving. It was great to see the Dallas Cowboys lose yesterday to the Las Vegas Raiders. Deshaun Jackson, who's now on the Las Vegas Raiders, obviously helped us out against the Cowboys once again by having a big day. And it's crazy to me, AJ. It's crazy to me that the Eagles have an outside shot right now to still win this division. They have an outside shot to still win this division with the amount of ease of the schedule that they have coming up, and just the fact that what can go wrong will go wrong for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of the curse of the Dallas Cowboys, and it's also a little bit of Mike McCarthy just not being a great second half head coach. He never has been, not even when he was with the Green Bay Packers, which ultimately led to the Green Bay Packers organization choosing Aaron Rodgers over Mike McCarthy, which obviously hindsight was the better of the options. We do have a little bit of bad news heading into this week's games. Jordan Howard is going to be out for the Philadelphia Eagles this week. And it is a little bit of a blow. It is a little bit of a blow, obviously, because Jordan Howard was the key contributor to getting this run game going, getting this offense going. He has been that spark, the old reliable, if you will, in getting this season turned around for the Philadelphia Eagles. And what a phenomenal job. I mean, I think we're not talking about this enough, where what a phenomenal job Nick Sirianni has done, and a phenomenal job that these players have kind of done in turning this entire thing around. And what I mean by that is what there's a few things that really speak volumes when it comes to Nick Sirianni. And that is, well, one, he's a first-year head coach, but what he's shown is he's adaptable. He's shown that he will do what it takes to win. Not succumb to the idea that we have to be a ultimate passing offense, because we're not. We're not. We don't have the players to do that. But that he's willing to ground it out and grind it out to get the victory. And we saw that against the Saints. 50 carries, 50 rushing attempts on the ground against the New Orleans, against the team that you're not supposed to run against. The number one ranked defense, rush defense in the NFL, the New Orleans Saints. At the time, no longer are they the number one rush defense in the NFL, but at the time they were. And we absolutely destroyed them. AJ, tell me what you thought about yesterday's games. Did you watch yesterday's games? Did you have a good Thanksgiving, my friend? I think that's what's most important. I myself, I had a really good Thanksgiving. It was really nice, peaceful, quiet, enjoyable. Played some card games with the fam, and it was pretty nice. And watch some football. The Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears game. That was probably the most boring game I've ever seen on Thanksgiving. But yeah, here's what I have a few things I want to talk about when it comes to the Detroit Lions. AJ Styles says yes. Awesome, my man. That's what I like to hear. I have a few things I want to talk about when it comes to Detroit Lions. How do you manage to be an organization in disarray for this long? How is that possible? How is that possible? I mean, like, you know, when we used to think about the bad teams, you know, earlier in the decade, you know, or earlier in the millennium, it was the Browns and it was the Lions and then it was the Texans and then it was da 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 da. But the Browns found a way to at least indicate that they have some stuff, some winning substance, whereas the Detroit Lions have been shitty for so long. I don't even get how that's even possible anymore. And let alone on top of that, they trade the player in the offseason that gave them the only shot of being some sort of a winning organization. Like, why would you trade Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff? It seems like they're almost in a habitual self-sabotaging like realm that they cannot get out of. Boston sports fan, what's up, my man? Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a beautiful one. Boston sports fan says, what's up, man? How was your Thanksgiving? It was absolutely phenomenal, man. You know, had a nice, great day with the fam. Played some card games, watched some football, ate some turkey, some mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, cranberries. You know, the whole shindig. What a game by the Las Vegas Raiders last night, huh? Deshaun Jackson helping out the Philadelphia Eagles once again by putting up a big game against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are in disarray, guys. They are in disarray. And in Cowboy fashion. This team is in disarray. And I think it's absolutely hilarious. Because here we'll break it down, right? Over the last 4 games, the Cowboys are 1-3. Over the last 4 games, the Cowboys are 1-3. And who do I blame for that? Well, I blame the curse of the Dallas Cowboys nation, one, and I also blame, and I also guess you can point fingers at Mike McCarthy because he's never been a great second half coach. I know I said this earlier in the stream, but I think it's worth re-emphasizing. Just, you know, like, I mean, the Eagles have an outside shot, guys. The Eagles have an outside shot at winning this division. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not laminating that comment on my wall. But they're 2 games out. The Eagles are 2 games out, and we still play the Cowboys in week 18. Boston sports fan says, great to hear, man. How was your Thanksgiving, my man? How was your Thanksgiving? That's what I want to know. But we'll see. You know, we will see. Nick Sirianni has done a great job with this team. He's done a great job with this team. You know, just the fact that he's shown that he can be adaptable. I do worry about not having Jordan Howard this week. I got to be honest with you. I do worry about it only because Jordan Howard has been that go-to guy to provide the spark for the offense. But here's the thing: like it gives Miles Sanders more of a shot to really establish himself in this run-heavy offense. But you can't put the ball on the ground. You can't put the ball on the ground. That's my message to Miles Sanders. Do not fucking put the ball on the ground. If you do that, then you're gonna lose the faith of the Philadelphia Eagles hopeful, and that's not what you want. That's obviously that's not what you want in Philadelphia. Because when we lose faith in you, you are going to feel it. You're going to feel it. That is for sure. Boston sports fan says, It was very well. Saw family in Maine. Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool. Last time I was in Maine, I think I was like 12. My grandfather at the time was staying up there for one of the seasons, and very cool. Very cool. It was very nice. Very nice. Have not been back since, but I do know how nice of a how nice of a place it is to be. So what are we feeling, guys? What are we feeling going into this weekend? Honestly, it's a long weekend for me. You know, I had yesterday off, obviously, like everyone. I have today off. I have Black Friday off, and then I have the entire weekend. Boston Sports Fan says, "Do you remember where in Maine?" I do not. You know, I just know that it was a house. We stayed in a house on the shore. You know, at a and my uncle spent all day searching for mussels. So, but yeah, it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. It was 18 years ago. So in that case, but you know, but anyway, you must be pretty stoked about your New England Patriots, huh? Your New England Patriots, Mac Jones looking like the better of the rookie quarterbacks, which we've kind of known for a while now. He looks like the better of the rookie quarterbacks so far in their early careers. The Patriots are back. The Patriots are back in it, man. King Miro said, King Miro, welcome to the chat today, my man. Yo, what up? 36, 33, 28 penalties. Damn. Yeah. The Las Vegas Raiders, the Dallas Cowboys game, you know, when it was like early in the fourth quarter and they had both reached 10 penalties each, I was like, damn. But then right after that, the Cowboys had a bunch more penalties. The Cowboys could not get out of a defensive pass interference yesterday to save their life. There was like 5 of them called. It was ridiculous. And go Raiders, baby. Go Raiders. Boston Sports Fan says, yes, sir. Very stoked. Hopefully they can keep it up and get the dub Sunday. Eagles looking much better than the Cowboys, in my opinion. The Eagles look phenomenal. Look phenomenal. I seriously, I understand that comes with, you know, stipulation, but still, this team, both teams, honestly, the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles, both teams look so vastly different than they did earlier in the season. For the Patriots, it was all about, you know, getting the rhythm, getting the chemistry, getting, you know, Mac Jones acclimated and really finding what works well with this team. And Bill Belichick was the perfect person to do that for them. And now they're off and running. And then they also have Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris on the ground running the football, and they're just taking it to teams. Same thing with the Philadelphia Eagles. They reinvested into the run game and got away from the unbalanced sort of inconsistent attack of offense that they had in the first 7 games of the season, and now they're beating up everybody on the ground. I'm sorry, but when you can repeatedly rush for 35 plus rushing attempts, you're going to win that game. That's what's going to happen. You're going to win that game. And they have been. The Philadelphia Eagles are, let's see, Detroit lost to the Chargers, Denver, Saints. The Eagles are 3-1. 3-1 over the last 4 games, and the Dallas Cowboys are 1-3 over the last 4 games. Talk about it.
Boston sports fan says the Giants are becoming a trash team week in and week out. No cap. LOL. Yeah. Actually, that's a perfect thing to talk about. I'm surprised I didn't bring that up before. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys fired offensive coordinator Jason Garrett at the beginning of the week. And in my opinion, honestly, like I don't. Jason Garrett's not a great offensive like he's just not. But that move was strictly that move was strictly the result of Joe Judge not wanting to take the fall. That was a scapegoat move. Joe Judge, as the Giants head coach, is losing more games, double the amount of games, than his win total. Plain and simple. I don't care. I don't care how much like discipline he brings to practices. You're not winning games, bro. You're not winning games, and you just lost your offensive coordinator, and now you're trying to go, to at length to keep that some sort of secret before the Philadelphia Eagles game, and we know who it's going to be. Here's the telling thing for me. Is Joe Judge didn't come out and say, well, I'm going to call the plays. He didn't come out and say that. And I don't think, and I'm not saying that he should have, but clearly he doesn't have faith in himself as the play caller. So, when I think about a head coach, I think about a guy that has pretty strong hands on the play calling duties. That's what I think about a successful head coach. And this guy wants to keep the new offensive coordinator a secret. So, like, he's like, well, he could have been like, well, I'm going to call the plays, but for right now, we're going to keep the offensive coordinator. We're going to keep the offensive the person who's going to be the offensive coordinator under the radar a little bit. Like, we know it's going to be Kevin Stefanski. Here's the thing. I'm not even necessarily worried, and I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles should be necessarily worried. Should they be prepared for all things? Yes, they should. But like, you don't change offensive philosophy in the middle of the season just because you lost your offensive coordinator. Like it's so much work to go and do that. You just don't. So it's not going to be that big of a difference. They're still going to suck. But the thing is this is what they should be worried about is, will Kevin Stefanski, because I do believe it's going to be Kevin Stefanski, will Kevin Stefanski be able to use the talent that the Giants have better than Jason Garrett did? That's the question, because they do have talent. They do have Kadarius Toney. They do have Kenny Golladay. They do have Saquon Barkley. They do have Evan Ingram. They do have talent, right? They do have talent. But the thing is that they still have an inconsistent quarterback in Daniel Jones. And I've seen Daniel Jones play well. I think Daniel Jones can do a good job, but he just has to find consistency. But honestly, if the Eagles run or have 35 plus rushing attempts on you on Sunday, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. And that's what I love about this Philadelphia Eagles team right now, is because we just demolished the number 1 ranked rush defense in the NFL in the New Orleans Saints. 50 plus rushing attempts for over 200 yards. There's no team that can stop us on the ground right now. You feel me? Boston sports fan says, I think the main reason the Giants suck is because Joe Judge makes poor decisions, not good chemistry with the players. Agreed. And he's a crybaby. He's a crybaby bologna sandwich who complains all the time and find ways and tries to blame it on other people. Like, for example, it started last season, right? They went 5-2 down the stretch, and you thought, oh, okay, maybe they got something to build upon here. But then the Eagles sat Jalen Hurts after the first half against the Washington football team in week 17, and the Giants were like, oh, we're pissed because it's the Eagles' fault that we didn't get into the playoffs because the Washington football team won, and now we can't go. No, fuck you, bro. You're a head coach. You should have come out and said, we should have done better in the beginning of the we should have done better in the regular season. We should have had a better record. We should have won more games. You don't come out and blame another team. You don't come out and blame another organization. That makes absolutely no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. That's like saying like, oh, okay, you start off with 3 caramel candies, right? And then you eat all 3. And then you get upset that you're now out of the 3 caramel candies because you can't go get more. You know what I mean? So you end up blaming your sibling for the fact that you are out of caramel candies because you're the one who ate. Like, there's no reason for you to blame your sibling for running out of caramel candies because you ate them, you motherfucker. Joe Judge like absolutely annoys the fuck out of me. I can't like he should be fired. He should be fired. Boston Sports Fan says Joe Judge was my Patriots special teams coach before he was head coach. That is definitely a big change. Well, here's the thing, like, and I know that, but you're seeing that now around the NFL. A few coaches here, But like, nobody does well when they come from Bill Belichick's coaching tree. Nobody. Name one person. Josh McDaniels tried to do it in Denver and failed miserably. You know what I mean? And I hate the argument that some analysts around the league are making for Joe Judge right now, and that is this. It's like, well, we know what Bill was like in Cleveland. And then the Cleveland Browns let him go and go to New England. And then he became a 6-time, 7-time Super Bowl champ, with the likes of Tom Brady at the helm. And so they're saying that Joe Judge, it's like what you don't want to see, what the Giants don't want to see is they fire this guy and then he goes to another organization and does an absolutely phenomenal job. And it's like, bro, do you like they made the same argument with Josh McDaniels, but Josh McDaniels did the smart thing and he went back to New England. And here's the end all be all murderous final kill move to that argument. Bill Belichick had Tom Brady. Tom Brady was involved in those Super Bowl championship teams. Tom Brady was involved. Like, it wasn't just Bill. It was Tom Brady. Stop making these arguments for these assistant coaches. Stop giving them the Bill Belichick argument for assistant coaches. Bill Belichick is phenomenal. Joe Judge likes to eat a bowl of macaroni that was rotten because it expired 3 months ago. Like, I'm sorry. You don't fuel yourself with expired chicken. You know what I mean? It's just gonna result in you, I have no idea where I'm going with this. It's just going to result in you losing. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to find yourself on the floor, balled up because you just contracted salmonella, da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, so the end-all be-all argument is the dude has lost double the amount of games that he has won. And in my opinion, after a 2-year mark, that results in you being fired. Honestly, you're a head coach. You got to win games. Boston Sports Fan says exactly, man. Yeah. And I can't wait. I cannot. And this is the reason I cannot wait to take on this Giants team on Sunday. Watch Devontae Smith go off. Watch Miles Sanders go off. Watch Jalen Hurts continue to get better week by week. I just want to absolutely destroy this head coach. I just want to absolutely destroy him. He has no business being a head coach in the NFL right now. He has no business whatsoever. None. I do worry, though. I worry about Sunday because we still don't know the full status. We don't know the final decision on Darius Slay. We do know the final decision on Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard's going to be out for the game. But it's not Jordan Howard who's been the giant killer. It's been Boston Scott who has been the giant killer. So Boston Scott and Miles Sanders are both going to play. Kenny Gainwell is going to get the nod. Kenny Gainwell is going to be activated. All 3 running backs are going to be activated. And obviously we have a package for Kenny Gainwell We have a package for Boston Scott. We have Miles Sanders coming back. Just don't put the ball on the ground, buddy, and then we'll be okay. Oh, and also another thing with the Giants and their team and their fans, they're almost like right up there with Dallas Cowboys fans right now for me. Like I just can't. They were pissed off at us that we traded up with Dallas to number 10 and took Devontae Smith. Stop crying like a bunch of little, stop. Just stop. Boston sports fan says Boston Scott from Boston. Is he from Boston? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. But yeah, so I worry about the Eagles defense. That's about it. I worry about the Eagles defense for Sunday, because we're not sure that Darius Slay is going to be active and ready for the game. So because he is still in concussion protocol, I did read though that if he does a walkthrough today, and if he does a little bit more than that today, then most likely he will be able to go. But if not, then he most likely will not be able to go. And obviously that's going to be a huge loss. It's going to be a huge loss for the Philadelphia Eagles if Darius Slay is not out there. One, because Jonathan Gannon turns into a completely different defensive coordinator when Darius Slay is not there. Darius Slay is having a Pro Bowl type of year with 3 touchdowns with 3 defensive touchdowns over the last 4 weeks. That's absolutely insane. I would take that any day over the production that Trayvon Diggs is having in Dallas. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you can have 8 interceptions and lead the league in interceptions if you want, but sorry, I'd rather have my guy score touchdowns. You know what I mean? But Davion Taylor obviously was put on IR for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I personally, some people don't think that's going to be a big loss to the linebacker group. And the verdict is out for me, because some people believe that the biggest move that actually was made was putting TJ Edwards in the middle. So it's going to make the other guys better. But they really loved Davion Taylor, and Davion Taylor was reactive, instinctive, fast. You know what I mean? So we'll see. They're gonna put Alex Singleton back in there next to TJ Edwards. So, Boston sports fan says next year's draft, your Eagles need to trade up to draft a top defensive lineman who is consistent. And I'll be back soon, man. Okay, man. Yeah, let me talk about that for a second. Yeah, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk going on about the Eagles should trade up to draft Thibodeau or whatever his name is, out of the defensive end out of Oregon. Most likely the Eagles are not going to have the number 1 draft pick or the number 2 draft pick. Not even the number 3 draft pick at this point, because the Dolphins are winning now. But look, we have to think of Thibodeau as like a Myles Garrett, right? Thibodeau is like a Myles Garrett. There's no team is going to trade with the Philadelphia Eagles to pass on Thibodeau. They're just not. They just won't do it. There's going to be other players that they can go out and get. My personal opinion, I was thinking about this yesterday. The Eagles should go wide receiver, defense. Not in that order, though. I really think that they should. I would be okay with either a defensive lineman, Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, and and then a wide receiver. I really do. I understand how crazy it sounds for the Eagles to go wide receiver again in the draft in the first round, but I think they should. I think they should do it. The two Ohio State wide receivers are absolutely fucking great. Chris Olaf and Garrett Wilson, they're absolutely phenomenal. You get either one of those guys opposite Devontae Smith, and we're looking at a good offense. We're looking at a good offense, and then you just bring in two defensive guys. And I love the development of TJ Edwards. I really do. I think that's gonna be key. I think it's gonna be key. But honestly, if we're talking about this right now, it's all going to be contingent on what the Eagles do in the free agency, because the Eagles are going to have a ton of cap space. King Miro says, Miles Sanders, big game this week. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Miles Sanders, big game this week. Let's get Miles 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, huh? Let's get Miles 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. How do we feel about that? The Eagles could blow this team out. I want us to keep this in mind, keep this in perspective. The Philadelphia Eagles blew out the Denver Broncos, who the week before blew out the Dallas Cowboys, and the Eagles blew out the New Orleans Saints, who had by running the ball, who had the number 1 rush defense. The Eagles are on fire right now. This team, this Giants team, is nowhere near as good as either one of those teams. Nowhere near. Denver Broncos had one of the top defenses in the NFL at the time. The New Orleans Saints had the number 1 rush defense. This Giants team, just play your cards right, man. Just be focused. Just go at this game like you've been going at the other previous 4 games, and they'll be fine. Toxic Falcons, my man, what's up, dude? Happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope you had a beautiful Thanksgiving. Talk about it if you'd like. Did you watch the Raiders-Cowboys game yesterday? Did you watch football at all? And what'd you think? Me personally, I thought the Bears-Lions game was one of the most boring games I've ever seen on Thanksgiving. So, and that says a lot, because the Lions play every year on Thanksgiving. So there's plenty of opportunity to produce a boring game. Toxic Falcon says, it was all right. All right. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. So I'm excited for this week's games. Now that we're past Thanksgiving, it feels like it's Sunday already, but it's only Friday. So excited for this week's games. Toxic Falcon says, Dallas took that L. It was great. Yeah, man. Yeah, Deshaun Jackson came through. And was a Dallas killer once again. Deshaun Jackson had a big day yesterday. It was like 4 catches for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely phenomenal. That's what the Philadelphia Eagles needed from Deshaun Jackson yesterday. And they got it. Let me ask people this. Is anybody still worried about the Rams? Like, are we really still worried about that team? Because I got to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily worried about that team. Yeah, do they have great players? Yeah, do they have a great record? Yeah, they do. But Sean McVay has had that ever since he's become the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. Anybody else worried about that team? I'm not worried about that team. I don't care if they have OBJ. Like the Rams don't put fear in my belly whatsoever. Toxic Falcon says Jackson is honestly still a big deep threat. Yeah, no, he's having a career like Steve Smith. Where he's playing late into his 30s and still has that speed, man. He's still a great player. He's still a great player. No hands barred. King Miro says Cowgirls are going downhill right now. Yeah, they are. They are because when it comes to December, when it comes to the latter part or November, the latter part of the season, like they still will choke. I said this at the beginning of the year. Like I said this at the beginning of the year. I said this when they started, started off with a great record, and they still have a great record. Good for them. Good for them. They got those wins in early. They're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs. They're going to be beat, whether it's going to be it could be by the Philadelphia Eagles, or the Arizona Cardinals, or the Rams. And I know I just said I wasn't that scared of them, but like I'm more worried about them than I am the Cowboys, I guess. Like the Green Bay Packers, like there's so many other teams I would put before the Cowboys, and we're seeing them fall apart. Really. They lost 3 out of the last 4 games, says Toxic Falcons. Yeah, I know. I said that earlier in the stream. Toxic Falcons says, nah, Rams aren't going to do anything in the playoffs. Agreed. Toxic Falcons says they lost 3 of the last 4 games. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys have lost 3 out of the last 4 games. Yes, they have. And I said that earlier in the stream. You know who has won 3 out of their last 4 games? The Philadelphia Eagles. And they almost beat the Chargers. They almost won 4 out of their last 4 games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, the Cowboys are so... the Cowboys are like, Humpty Dumpty is what they are. They're like Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall, right? It's like, oh, you're such a nice guy. You're doing so good. Da 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 da. But then you fall off the wall and crack your head. It's kind of a fucked up children's story now that you think about it. Anyway, yeah, Dak Prescott is not as good without top premier players. He's just not. He's never been, and that's the fact. They were without CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper yesterday. Cedric Wilson is good. I think Cedric Wilson is a good player. I think he's better than Jalen Reagor. I would take Cedric Wilson over Jalen Reagor, but like he's not Amari Cooper. He's not CeeDee Lamb. You know what I mean? Big Play Slay, what's up, my dude? Welcome to the chat. Happy belated Thanksgiving. How was it? Did you watch some football yesterday? I assume that you did. And what did you think about the Lions-Bears game? I thought it was really boring. But Deshaun Jackson, baby, for the Las Vegas Raiders. Deshaun Jackson comes through for the Philadelphia Eagles to be another Dallas Cowboy killer once again yesterday, winning 36-33 in overtime. That's what I'm talking about. It's crazy, guys. It is absolutely crazy. The Philadelphia Eagles are only two games out of tying for first place for the division because the Cowboys suck. They cannot put it away. The Eagles are on the rise. The Cowboys are acting like Humpty Dumpty. We just went over that. And shit's looking good. Shit's looking really good. Boston sports fan is back. Welcome back, my dude. Cowboys are a win or big or go home team. Exactly. And what is the common denominator for a win big or go home team? What's the common denominator? Inconsistency. That a win big or go home team reeks of inconsistency. Yeah, you can get blown the fuck out by the Denver Broncos, and then a week later you can go out and blow out the Atlanta Falcons. But then you lose to the Chiefs 19-9? Who only puts up 9 points against that defense this year? And then you go out and you lose 36-33 in overtime to Derek Carr and the Raiders. Yeah, it sounds like a win big or go home. Big Play Slay says, "What's up, DB? What's up, Big Play Slay?" Talks Falcon says, "The NFC is wide open for anyone to make the playoffs." Well, here's what we know. So there's about five teams. There's about five teams that are going to make the playoffs, and it's just the last two teams that are kind of up in the air. But obviously, it's the Green Bay Packers, the Arizona Cardinals, the Rams are going to make it. Cowboys are going to make it, and shabba dabba doodah. Can't think off the top of my head. And then the Eagles look like they're gonna fucking make it. So I'm gonna keep reemphasizing that because the Eagles look severely dominant right now. King Miro says Rager just needs more time. Oh my god. They're not using him right? No. This dude was a first-round wide receiver. There is no not using him right. This dude is not. He's not catching balls when he's being thrown to, and I think that they are using him right. He's a motion wide receiver. He is a motion wide receiver, and they are using him to do the motion. But that's it. That's all he is. But I'm sorry, he also doesn't play. He's starting to show like he doesn't play hard. He aggravates me on returns. I want to see Jalen Reagor do well. I want to see him get redemption. But I'm sorry, it's like, come on, dude. Come on. Quez Watkins is playing better than you, and Quez Watkins was a 6th-round pick. Come on. Here's what I'll do. I mean, I'll give Reagor another year. But I'm sorry if Garrett Wilson or Chris Olaf is available in the draft for the Philadelphia Eagles at a reasonable price, I'm taking either one of those guys out of Ohio State all day long. And then Jalen Reagor can go blow a goat. Don't care. Not literally, obviously. That's weird. Talks Falcon says the Lions are always boring on Thanksgiving. Yeah, but yesterday was like excruciatingly boring. Big Play Slay says, yeah, I had a good Thanksgiving, chilled with my family, and watched Deshaun Jackson still be the nightmare of Dallas. And the Saints helped us by losing last night, making us the 8th seed. Yes, they did. Great point. The Bills absolutely came out and demolished the Saints yesterday. I mean, yeah, what a phenomenal job by Josh Allen. He threw for 4 touchdowns last night, didn't he? I think he did. Big Play Slay says, and I also just bought a MacBook Air, still trying to test it. Oh, very cool. Very cool, man. Nice. Got that Black Friday deal, I assume. Well played. Boston sports fan says inconsistency is exactly what I was going to say, and great statement like you always have. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Toxic Falcon says we can't really say that because the Cowboys can go 7-8 these next games. Well, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys aren't going to lose out. I don't think they're going to lose out, but yeah, no, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I hear you. Big Play Slay says Rager is just going backwards at this point. He really is. Like, honestly, I said this earlier in the stream. Eagles are going to have 3 first-round picks. I wouldn't mind them going wide receiver, defense. Not in that order, but like I really like Garrett Wilson, and I really like Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Really like Garrett Wilson. I think he's a phenomenal wide receiver. So I know it's kind of unlikely that the Eagles go wide receiver in the first round again, but should they? I mean, you line them up across Devontae Smith and shit. Big Play Slay says J-Jaw had better stats Sunday, LOL. Yeah, J-Jaw did have better stats. Here's the thing about J-Jaw, right? is like he can contribute in more ways than none. No, in more ways than one. He can he can contribute on special teams, which Jalen Reagor has not been able to do. I'm sorry, his kick returns look like a nightmare on Elm Street, and J-Jaw can be on the coverage team. J-Jaw can catch. He can catch. He's just slow, and J-Jaw can block in the running game. So, like, there's multiple things that J-Jaw can do. I'm not out here making the ultimatum defense of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, but like he can do multiple things. He can be a more valuable piece to a team because of that reason than Jalen Reagor. So, but hey, I think that they're using Jalen Reagor. I think that they're using what they're doing with Jalen Reagor. I think is fine. They're using him in the motion, in motion when they're going to run the ball or so have you. But yeah. King Miro says Umbrella Man came in and showed up that game. Yeah, he did. What was it? A 25-yard, like a 25-yard catch, wasn't it? On third down. I mean, it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. King Miro says Cowgirls started 6-1. Now look at them struggling. Yeah, it's the Mike McCarthy effect, and it's the Dallas Cowboys curse effect. So yeah, what can go wrong will go wrong for the Dallas Cowboys, as Stephen A. Smith always loves to say. And it's going wrong. It is going wrong. Boston sports fan says, do you know what the 3 first-round picks that you have are? I think right now it is 8, 11, and 16. Right now it's 8, 11, and 16 because the Dolphins have started to win again. The Eagles have started to win again. And Carson Wentz, guys, has the Indianapolis Colts at 6-5. So, yeah. But I mean, hey, those are 3 great spots. Those are still 3 great spots, right? Like you can find great players at 16. You can find great players at 32. You can find great players at 33, 34, 35, 36. But so yeah, I'm not worried. I really want Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, and yeah, I personally would not mind the Eagles taking one of those Ohio State wide receivers. So it's just my opinion. But I definitely do believe this, that they got to find either a defensive lineman or a cornerback with one of those 2 earlier first round picks. And, obviously that's me including Kyle Hamilton with the other one of those 2 early ones. So, because Kyle Hamilton's going to be a fucking stud in the NFL. Yeah. Or at least I hope so. And I love I said this earlier in the stream as well. I love the development of TJ Edwards, bro. I love the development of TJ Edwards. So I think things are going to be okay. And they just extended him too. So there's that. It all depends as far as the cornerback position is concerned. It all depends on how Tay Gowan is gonna fill out, and the other dude out of LSU. I can't remember his name, but Tay Gowan, like a lot of people have a lot of high praise for Tay Gowan, and Tay Gowan, he took that his senior year off because of COVID. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down, guys. Boston Sports Fan says, very, very great spots. Your Eagles need a tall speedster that can do jump balls and can get downfield for you like Devontae Smith, but have to be taller. Yeah, Garrett Wilson's like 6'3", I think. Isn't he? Garrett Wilson, and he's smooth, and he's a good route runner. And so, like, that's, yeah. That's all I have to say to that. Yeah. There goes my light again. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for right now. I have a long weekend, so I'm going to be making sure that I'm on point with you guys leading up into the game. So Boston sports fan says, even if he is, you need another guy next to him. Well, look, here's the thing is I think Quez Watkins is going to continue to get better. And like they say, 3 years for a wide receiver in the NFL. Quez Watkins was a 6th-round pick, and he's in his 2nd year and has made huge strides. I can still see that coming, and I can still see him getting better. Devontae Smith is only going to continue to get better. So it's like if you have Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, and Quez Watkins, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then Jalen Reagor can be your 4th guy or what have you. You know, we'll see, man. We'll see. King Miro says, I do like Justin Ross from Clemson. Yeah, another great dude. Another great wide receiver. Yeah, any of these guys. I see. Here's the thing: it does propose an interesting conversation because it's like, should the Eagles really go wide receiver in the 1st round 3 years in a row? And it's like, yeah, they should. With the Colts pick, they should. Not with the first two picks. And you want to know why? Is because they whiffed on the first one. They whiffed on the one in 2019. Jalen Reagor is not a 1st round worthy wide receiver. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, yeah, yes. It's all gonna be contingent on this, and that is, are they going to commit to Jalen Hurts? If they find themselves committing to Jalen Hurts, then yes, you go out and you build around that. You do everything that you possibly can with all of these 1st-round picks, and you build around your franchise guy. Do not fuck this up again like you did with Carson Wentz. Don't do it. Do not do it. And they are. Or they're not. They're not fucking it up. If they commit to Jalen Hurts, they are doing this now, actually, where they're starting to look a little bit like the Baltimore Ravens offense. They are. You know, they're calling different running plays out of a formation that looks similar to itself. And it's confusing the fuck out of defenses. And then also they have Jalen Hurts who can get out and scramble. You know what I mean? And it's like, his first year, Lamar Jackson's first year, like, he didn't have Marquise Brown. You know, his wide receivers weren't the best. But the Eagles are kind of following that module in, like, you have Devontae Smith, and then you have Dallas Goedert, and Lamar Jackson has Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews, and that's the extent. And then the rest of it is all run game. You know, different variations of the run game. And it's working. It's working. Build around it. Build around it successfully. Boston sports fan says that makes sense. I hope so. Sometimes I just spout out shit and not sure if I make sense whatsoever until I go back and watch these live streams. And sometimes I'll just be like, dude, what the fuck were you saying right there? Because I can tell you, like, looking back at it right now, like, I made a butters, I made a caramel candy analogy when it comes to Joe Judge, and a Humpty Dumpty analogy when it came to the Dallas Cowboys. It's gonna be an interesting one to go back and watch. King Miro says, I would love one more weapon for Jalen. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: you got to take pressure off of Devontae Smith. They have to. Actually, they don't have to. That's the thing, is they don't have to. Yes, I would love another weapon for Jalen Hurts. But we're watching what the Ravens are doing, and the Ravens the Ravens are good. The Ravens are good. And that's the extent of their weapons pretty much is Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown. But I bet you they have a couple of other guys who can catch the ball a little bit better than Jalen Reagor can. Who can produce a little bit more than Jalen Reagor can. But they got to find – here's what they got to do. Here's what they got to do. First and foremost is they got to make sure that they find ways for they find more opportunities for Quez Watkins, because Quez Watkins will catch the ball. Quez Watkins is getting open. And so, like, that's the one thing is, like, we don't want to draft another first-round wide receiver and then have him disappear because Jalen Hurts is just looking for Devontae. Like, we don't want that. And I think here's the thing though, is the thing that comes with that is Jalen Hurts' development. So, like, I'm okay. Jalen Hurts is getting better. He's getting better at reading the field. He's getting better at standing in the pocket. He's getting better at going through his reads. So I think Quez Watkins' emergence will come. I think it's still yet to come this season. But and maybe it will come against the New York Giants. Maybe it will come against the New York Giants because they're going to try and do everything that they can to shut down our running game, which so far hasn't worked for teams throughout the NFL. But Jordan Howard is not going to be there to give them a spark this week. So who knows what the Eagles' running game is going to look like. My hope is that it doesn't slow down whatsoever. But that's that. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining in. Boston sports fan, big play slate, King Miro, all of the above, AJ Styles even earlier in the stream. Guys, like I said, I have a long weekend off, so I will be more on point with being with you guys leading up into the game. I might even do a stream later as well, so please look out for that notification. Please hit the like, subscribe, and click on the bell button as well. Guys, one love. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. You guys have a beautiful rest of your Friday. One love, and go Birds, baby.